Basically, I'm going to speak about the QA train and the challenges that's currently happening here. Myself, I'm Sumira Shrestha. Currently, I'm working in Cotiviti with almost the 9 years of experience in this field in a QA, and then I changed my role to the business analyst and the product owner just 2 years back. Um, Back in the Cotiviti. So currently, I'm working as the product owner in the Cotiviti. So when I start my career, I want to be a developer, but there is a training period, so they choose me in a QA because QA is such a role that you have to be a good analyst. You should know the product and think as the end user what the product means and what is actually the client is using the product for what. Let's say I always say what is quality. So for me the quality is like being in a product, the quality means should be always measures that what gets delivers and what the client is actually using. So for example, let's say DK pack, we have been using a Nokia phone, right? And we love it much, but as time being and with the new technology, Nokia can't make and sustain to the market because we have been seeing a different Android phone and phone that is taking the marketplace, but Nokia not. So they are not seeking for the quality. So we remember the Nokia, but we actually don't use it. So that didn't make the fit for the purpose that client is seeking for. Right? So, what is quality? It's not an act, it's a habit. So, being a QA member, we should always think from a client perspective and try to make the product more productivity by thinking in the end user. Though we get a requirement from different stakeholders, and there is a team. Before Adana Shrestha told that there is a Scrum team with a development Scrum team, QA work together to build a product, but developer think more logically, and even QA also think more logically part, but they always think from the client perspective to meet any kind of the requirement, right? So here are the train that we are going to speak out. So here the agenda I'm going to speak out on some three topic. The first is the train, the second the challenges, and the other one is the remedy, the solution. So let's go to the train. So there are the more QA trend that going to anticipate in 2022 or more further coming year. So the first one is the development skill. So um, everyone said that being a QA is very easy job. It's just a testing. You don't require any development skill, but no, because if we have a kind of the development skill and being a QA, it's not necessary to write every time the test case to execute and to say that the test result get passed or they fail, and to deliver the client requirement to the production. So it's not a job of QA. So if you have a development skill, uh, it helps QA to do their daily execution. So they don't need to seek anyone help to write any kind of test script to prepare the test data or even the automation they can prepare. So while testing the test execution, if we get any kind of the defect or the bug, We write in the very high level, we get this kind of debug, we write the steps. But if to have in the development scale, we can analyze first and tell them this is an area you need to fix. That will be helpful for the development team to fix and analyze better, so that they can fix faster, because we have already provided the solution, the one we already know where it actually gets impacted. So so this is for the faster turnaround. So any question here, anyone? If no, let's move to the next. I'm using my another screen when I do it. Right, so, okay. The next one is the Agile and the DevOps. So already we know that I have already mentioned that how important the Agile is playing a role in our tech society for a faster delivery. Even if we do an Agile, we do a kind of the Agile testing here for a faster delivery, because it isn't easy, because we get groom, and we have a story, we test it in very short time, so that everyone in the team get involved there. So even the PO starts grooming there. The QA person also can put the perspective. They can also help them to write an acceptance criteria, and even that helps QA team to prepare the test cases and maintain the higher level of the documentation. So why DevOps? Like, it is for the speed of the work. So when we use Agile, we do have the commitment time period. For, let's say, in the Cotiviti, we do have the 3 month of the PI, here where we try to groom, and where we load everything, stories and help features to do. But within that time, DevOps team help them for the faster delivery. They are there to execute and deployment for a better and the quality release. So moving to the next, the other one is the test automation. I think everyone have heard about the automation, right? So why automation? We have been doing like manual testing from a decade, right? So why automation? So the before one, my point around the development scale, that's also include the test automation here. Why automation? So being a manual QA, you have been tested the different area manually, which with the human intervention there, and you have to spend more time in that same feature, the one which have already been rolled out. If any kind of new feature is added. So test automation helps us enable to run the test cases in batches, and help to run the regression test. Once we write the test in a framework that already define and help user. So why not we are using the automation? It's very important. So there the like I remember most of the company have been already started using the automation, and this automation became the one of the integral part of their organization. So Cotiviti also have been started using the automation for this. We have a diverse team of the automation, where they write the automation in their framework. They start writing the test cases. So it helps QA not to retest that part, because the that will be actually get tested by automatically tested by this automation tools. And so then there will be a little kind of the space for us for the research what we can do next. So even though we are talking here of the automation, but I think uh, out of this 100%, like 10, 20 to 30% are the cases are only the automated, but there's a lot of the area where we can automate it for a faster delivery product. So I think in the next 5 or the next decade, everything will get automated. So I'm writing there that the more open source testing tool, Selenium, Cypress, Cucumber, Testing. So currently we have been using the Selenium. So any question here, anyone? If no, let's move to the next. So next is the artificial intelligence. Um, This is the most new form of the technology. Maybe in future we have been using this AI or the machine learning for the better results. So this will be used for the codeless automation in the future. And is generally for designing, for preparing the test data, report, and the cases here for a better decision. So with this AI also, I think if we use the AI in future, maybe this something will be a very change role for the QA because they get any space for to increase their development skills. So other one is the mobile testing. So I think the another trend is also mobile, though we have been always doing the mobile testing, and maybe most of have been already used the mobile for mobile testing. So because it's an easy and physical device, so wherever we get we possible area we test it. For example, even in our real cases, we download any kind of the app. So being a user, we actually test there because it's the easy device that we are using in our daily life, right? So so not being from the QA perspective, so maybe we have been using different type of like they said Daraz or GB Health we have been using in our daily life. So those kind of the app we have been using, so they say that this kind of the promo code or this they are saying that they are getting the 10% off on this skin healthcare or baby health product. So when we try to open there, we are getting in the error. So I faced so many problems there. So so being from the QA and from the user perspective, it's important to do the mobile testing when you are sending any kind of the app to the user. So so anyone have also faces the same problem that I do?
It might be.
Yeah, it actually like I've been using one app for my baby to get a product online. I faced a lot of problem. Maybe they have sent the actually loaded an app, but not constantly truly tested on that. So this mobile testing is also most important to test in. So moving to the other slide. So the other one is the testing challenges in the agile and how do we actually overcome them?
Might, yeah, it might be that you have to test more and more because Israel is the sprint to work, and you have to test in shorter period of time. So I think testing in Israel will be like you have to test in short amount of time. I think
Yeah,
that's challenge.
yes, correct. So the first is the changing requirement. So so we are working in the agile methodology, and we should be ensure that whenever the change come, we should easily accept it. So we have been given the requirement, and so being a QA, we start analyzes everything ABCD, everything, but at the last moment the requirement gets changes. So the problem is that we have to get back to the requirement again and start think about the scenario that is actually going to test the area. So what would be the solution here?
Like automation can be done.
Yeah, the automation can be done, but at the very first stage, if the requirement get changes, the tester get, maybe we also get frustrated because we have kind of making everything test scenario, test cases, test plan, everything, but the requirement get changed. Maybe the lack from the QA perspective that they are not getting the actual information or the detailed information from the PO or the business analyst they are working. So, uh, so the testers should also be involved in every requirement, and even though the requirement gets changed, they should also prepare the high level of the document. If anything gets changed, they can prepare on that, on working with the product owner. So this could be a little challenges in agile because the change come unexpectedly from one requirement to other. So in Cotiviti or maybe in any place if you go, any commitment item we have given, but at the very last moment, uh, there comes like, okay, this is not the priority list here. There is the other priority list that actually client is taking. Then we have to roll out the all the changes there and move to the other priority, leaving the next one. So this will be challenging for the development also, and for the PO also, to the everyone. So the next one is that not getting enough information. So why don't we get not enough information? Are we lacking something, or not a QA person being involved in the grooming section? So isn't there is not a good side of acceptance criteria, or the story that are actually broken from the feature, split onto from the feature? So why not enough information? So if we don't get any kind of the information from the PO, the tester can't think what actually should be tested, and they cannot make a detailed test cases. So that will be the maybe lacking area, and that will also lack for the quality for the product to gets delivered in the time. So for this solution, what we can do? So any idea from anyone?
Yeah, communication is needed for
Yeah,
that one.
communication is needed. Talk with the product owner, talk with the development team. What is missing? So uh, work with the product owner for a good set of the acceptance criteria. So that helps to build you the test cases, or work with the development team, the what kind of the area or the tools required to test the certain scenarios, right? So moving to the next one is the continuous testing. So why it is important, this one?
It might be to deliver high quality codes or bug free codes.
Yeah. So maybe being a QA, we always think about for better quality. So maybe somewhere we are lacking, right? Tests are expected to test the building test cases feature before coding has been started. So if the code start before coding, what we test nothing. So once we get the anything, the actual test we get test. And maybe there maybe the other case, once the code has been already been there, and maybe a QA we can test something in the dev environment, a kind of a smoke test, but not a full continuous testing for a feature. So what could be the solution for this? The same thing, it should have the set of the good quality acceptance criteria. So it goes back to the product owner to prepare a good set of the acceptance criteria, bring out the detailed requirement there. And the QA team should only start testing when we get the whole features gets roll out. Feature means item means the user story gets roll out in our the QA environment. So the other one is the technical skill. So the challenges is that technical skill, like people start saying that the QA, I'm repeating again, QA people should not know the technical skill. Without technical skill, also the QA can start. But yes, we can start the QA, but for a longer time run, it hamper our career because we are only testing everything manually, not automations. We even can't write a script, the database script, so that will be very helpless for us. So maybe testing or doing any kind of doing the input value or the clickable not work for a decade, because the with the changing in the IT trends, we have been developing different kind of the technology, so we should also remain intact. So nowadays we have been using the API testing, integration testing. If we don't have a technical skill, we cannot do it, so we'll be a lag behind there. So it will be a name of the QA only, not the technical one. So if you get the technical and have a technical scheme, and if you're working in the Scrum, you have been given the story. So maybe the part of the team, the QA person also can develop the story they can actually do in absence of the development team. If you have the technical skill, and maybe I previously said that also, if you get an error or the bug, you don't need to wait for the development team to get fixed that for the approach. You can also find the solution and tell them what the next solution will be, this that actually fix the this area. And if you have a skill like Python or any kind of the Java, which organization you have been working on, which language you have been using, you can automate the test. So that will be the solution. If you have the technical skill, you can do everything, not beside the manual one. You have a diverse team with the manual and the automation test team. So anyone from here from the QA, or are you from the development team or the project management?
Yeah, you can unmute. So, what is your current role, or are you a student, or are you professional?
Yeah, I just want to know.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sumira Shrestha, and I'm much Bakar 7 sem ho, and मैले चाहिँ QA को intern गर्दैछु भन्ने company.
Do you think QA is the easy job, Sumina?
मेरो चाहिँ भर्खरै 1 month हुँदैछ, and उहाँहरूले चाहिँ like तिमीहरू self.
Okay. So I think Sumina is doing the great job in the QA, and not the easiest job that someone think is the something analyst one job. So so when moving forward, Sumina, so if you build some type of the technical skill on you, it will be better for your future as well. So that's the point for me, for you.
Okay.
Thank you. So the next one is the communication. So the lack of the communication. I think Pradeep said before that the challenges could be a communication, right, Pradeep?
I said about this continuous testing because of the agile short span of time, lack
Yeah,
of time.
yeah, lack of time. So the other one is the like communication. So if we don't communicate between the within the team member, the current agile testing will not work because you have a team of the developers and tester and the product owner and the scrum master. So if you keep quiet and whatever the requirement you have been given, you build up, you have think from one perspective and maybe the other development have think the other perspective. So there may be the lag because when it comes to the actual testing, the actual product you are going to build is not the one, and the time you have to spend is totally worthless. So communication within a team is very important. So for this, what the remedy for this, like, need go and speak out, make a frame for the developer and product owner. So for this, like a scrum master is there to facilitate the scrum ceremonies, like our sync up, daily stand or retrospective. So and to set the scope and the goal on it. So uh, communicate within a team is very important. So moving forward, I think this is the last slide for me. So any question, anyone? We are already 7:30 here. Running out of
Okay,
time.
okay. Shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay, from the QA side that you are talking about different automation and the technical skills required for that one. My question is that because of the in agile, as you said, that there will be technical changing requirements, then you have the unclear requirements. In that scenario, how that automation can be fit in that this agile thing? Because in agile, the changing requirements and the short times, and how that this automation tool can be used. One question, and another is that we have talked about this AI thing here. So AI and the automation tools are the same, or how can this AI be used in the QA?
Let me get first with your first question, Pradeep. In the Agile, we getting the change the requirement. So how we test or how we write the test automation, right? So I think for this, it's important. Let's think that if you get a feature or product that actually build up, not the new one. So you have already a framework that is the built in an organization, right, Pradeep? And for that, even though the requirement get changes, there is the already the test automation cases that are already written there. So for the new, you can write it for the later area, or the you can have a QA member to write it later if there any kind of the requirement gets changed. So with that change, you can also add up this automation efficiently on that.
Okay, but
And
how you might be, yeah, because it might be like the shorter cycle in the sprint, and then you have to test it fast, and then I mean
yeah,
that case also will that still be practical to write this the what you say
it is
QA code. Yeah, so it is still possible in your organizations, or
possible. Yeah, it will be impossible because to get delivered in limited time period to test. So for that, the first area will be the manual one, and if this features gets rolled out, maybe then we get some space, then we write it. Talking with the management team will be the feasible on this.
okay, okay, thank you.
The other point is like artificial intelligence, right? So currently, I think it will be the train, it will be actually using for the test automation in the future. But currently, I've also not used this one right now, but it will be the train in the future, Pradeep. If anyone have got an answer on this, can answer this one, because I'm also new to the this artificial intelligence.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
So, I have a question like, what are the things that a bug tries into? So I have heard like bug triaging. Is this something related with QA and this field?
Uh, yeah, bug tries meeting, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Is this something something related with the QA? Like, it will there will be the meeting where you speak out the bug and what will kind of the status, what will be the solution for that bug. So, being a QA in perspective, we do have the technical skill that I've talked before in my train. If you have that one, you can with that help you can help during that meeting. You can just say that, okay, this could be the possible solution to get fixed this bug in the tries meeting.
So yeah, I think the question is over. Moreover, so if there is any question, then you can raise the hand. I have one question about this topic about the QA trend. So, Miss, in most of the IT company, the QA is being tested from Miss from the developer side or from the QA side. Miss, developer also tests something, right?
Yeah.
So do you test the unit testing or the developer needs to test the unit testing?
So before the actual code commit, they do the unit testing from the development side because they actually have the framework to test those area. The what the actually cases they have to deliver. So it's the developer end to test the unit tests.
Okay. So that means you don't need to do the unit testing. So it depends upon the developer.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you maintain the production quality?
For the production also, we get any features, and we don't have very limited type on that. So we do everything testing in our lower environment. We do have the user acceptance testing also. So that is also kind of the before the staging also. So we keep a limited area to test, and we do a kind of the smoke test on the production, and there will be the space for the feature. So we do a few area that actually complete the regression one, and the other one is the automation that not work for the like newly built feature, but it actually work for the older built feature that have already built, and ensure that there is no bug. So that kind cases will be run by the automation, and for the newly built feature, we'll do not run from the automation. We do a manual testing in the production environment for the testing.
Okay, thank you. We are at the end of the webinar. So thank you so much for the question, and as well as thank you, Sumira ji.